Just now, Caitlin Clark made history.
8 assists, 15 points in the first half, looking to add to her tally. Ooh, look out.
Clark broke her own WNBA record on a night that will live in everyone's mind and dispelled any doubt as to who should win Rookie of the Year. What's even better is that she defeated Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Now that you have subscribed to the channel, let's talk about the numbers. Clark had an incredible final game, tallying 31 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds. To put this in perspective, Clark led in every significant offensive category and did it with a level of efficiency that would have made veterans green with envy. With those 12 assists, Clark proves she's more than simply a prolific scorer. She's a true leader on the court who elevates the performance of her whole team. Recall that she completed all of this work fast. When there were only 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter and the game was all but over, Clark was already on the bench. If she had played for a longer period of time, just imagine the possibilities. Many people thought there was a close competition for Rookie of the Year before this game. That conversation is very much gone after tonight. With her 31 points and 12 assists, Clark was unstoppable while Reese had a terrible night. She only had 10 points and 11 rebounds at the end of the game. He saw little possibility for Rookie of the Year in a performance that he compared to Caitlin's. When we examine the impact on the scoreboard, the disparity becomes even more noticeable. The game was totally controlled by the Fever when Clark was on the court. By the end of the third quarter, the Fever had a 98-74 lead on the scoreboard, and Clark had already been benched. Reese's Sky was utterly helpless against Clark's show. It was more than just individual stats tonight. It dealt with how a single player may improve a whole team. Clark set the game's tempo, created opportunities, and improved the play of her teammates. Conversely, Reese appeared disoriented and unable to have a good impact on her squad. Clark not only prevailed in a matchup that many anticipated to be evenly matched, but she also dominated in a manner that made it difficult to argue about who the real WNBA emerging star is. Clark demonstrated her mission from the first question. Her three-pointer to start the game quieted the Sky crowd. However, Clark truly went into killer mode in the Q2. She made 3 nearly consecutive three-pointers in a series of plays, each one more spectacular than the last. However, this shot that was made well beyond the three-point line is what really drew my attention. Even Sky supporters were so amazed by this basket that they got up from their seats. Each of these plays showed Clark's total control over the game in addition to adding points to the scoreboard. This wasn't your average basketball player. Everyone else on the court was merely a bystander to her performance, which she was conducting like a symphony. But more important than her stellar individual numbers is the way she's dramatically changing the Indiana Fever and their chances for this season. Now let's put this in context. The Fever had a dismal 13-27 record at the end of the previous season. Now that Clark is leading the way, they have a good chance of making the playoffs. It was more than just a game when we defeated the Sky. It was an intended statement. The Fever proved they are no longer the underdogs, as seen by their final score of 181. They have a good chance of making the playoffs and possibly winning the championship. And Clark's influence is primarily to blame for all of this. The rookie's tale is made even more remarkable by the way she's raising the bar for her teammates. For example, Aaliyah Boston has profited immensely from Clark's accurate passes. It's clear that the two click, and their combination is starting to pose a serious threat to opposition defenses. Moreover, Clark exudes a contagious confidence on the court. The rest of the team's play demonstrates that. They think that every night they can defeat anyone. This winning mindset is essential for a new team trying to make a name for itself in the league. With its newfound weapon, the Fever has an advantage over most other teams heading into the playoffs. Not only is Clark a gifted rookie, she has the power to alter the trajectory of a series and makes a difference. A team needs her postseason ability to come up with plays out of nothing, hit big shots, and maintain composure under duress. In conclusion, Clark is enjoying more than just a stellar rookie campaign. She's redefining what a budding talent can accomplish for her franchise. Still, not everything is sunshine and flowers. The Chicago Sky were aware of Caitlin's dominance, and regrettably, their annoyance showed in a manner that is inappropriate for a professional basketball team. With the Fever already well ahead in the closing minutes of the match, we saw a sad incident. A visibly irritated Sky player shoved Clark from behind during a transition play. When Clark fell on the ground, WNBA supporters as a whole and all Fever fans were alarmed. The impact Clark is having on the league is demonstrated by this occurrence. Not only is she winning games, she's into the minds of her opponents. The Sky, a reputable team with its own stars, had to resort to unsportsmanlike and desperate methods. Luckily, Clark stood up fast and appeared to be okay. Not only is Clark playing well, but this instance also demonstrates the amount of competitiveness she brings to the league. She's pressuring other teams to either step up or get desperate. It's the kind of impact that often comes from seasoned veterans rather than rookies playing in their first season. The Sky's response serves as a reminder that Clark is more than simply a fleeting impression. She is a formidable opponent. Opposing teams now have to make special plans to contain someone. And when such plans fall through, which they did magnificently tonight, frustration might result in unfavorable circumstances such as this one. But now that we've witnessed so much on this amazing evening, it's time to pose the question that's on everyone's mind. Is there still any question as to who should win Rookie of the Year? With her performance in this game, which included 31 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, and a 5-9 shooting percentage from three-point range, I think Caitlin Clark is the clear winner of this award. These aren't simply rookie stats, these are MVP-caliber numbers. Angel Reese and Clark faced off in a highly anticipated match, with Clark emerging victorious as she not only excelled her opponent, but also eclipsed her entirely. It was evident from this game that Clark is unmatched. Clark has an impact that goes beyond her personal data. She has turned the Indiana Fever from a mediocre team into a strong playoff contender in just one season. There is no denying her impact on the franchise. It's crucial to remember that this outstanding achievement is not an isolated instance. Clark has played at a high level all season long, and this game is the result of months of steady, excellent play. Clark's performances in the WNBA have redefined expectations for rookies, establishing new benchmarks for greatness and making an early impact on the league. To be honest, after this performance, it would be difficult for anyone to vote against Clark if the Rookie of the Year vote were held tomorrow. It would be stupid to believe that the story between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is over, even though this game was a clear victory for Clark in the Rookie of the Year competition. Indeed, this might potentially mark the start of a legendary rivalry that will shape the WNBA for many years to come. Consider it. Two of the most gifted and captivating players to join the league in recent memory are Clark and Reese. Their rivalry has been carried to the highest level of women's basketball, bringing with it a history from their college basketball days. Although Clark was the clear winner in this match, Reese is still a very tough opponent. You can be sure that she will take this setback as motivation. Next season, she'll return to training, put in even more effort, and bring everything with her. And Clark, well, it seems like she just raised the bar for herself. She is now under pressure to continue playing at this level. Can she maintain her current level of dominance? Or will she manage to be contained by Reese and the other rising talents? Imagine these two playing each other in the future. Every game between Fever and Sky will be a must-see. There will inevitably be comparisons. Both sides' fans will fervently defend their favorite player, and statistics will be closely examined to observe her. Thus, although we rejoice in Clark's amazing performance and her probable Rookie of the Year title, we also need to look forward to what lies ahead. Since this, my friends, is only the beginning of what looks to be one of the most intense rivalry in WNBA history. Let's now discuss something I observed while watching this game. We knew we were going to witness something extraordinary the moment Caitlin took the court against the Chicago Sky. "This is my house now." She controlled the court with her steely face and her straight posture. She moved with unwavering confidence that she was among the finest in the world, without any hesitancy at all. Her long-distance shots were where her confidence was most evident. Clark wanted these shots, rather than merely attempting them. You could see she knew the ball would go in most of the time when it left her hands after it left her side of the three-point line. After the push she took at the end of the game, Clark's confidence may have shown its true colors. Rather than trembling or losing her cool, she just stood up, brushed herself off, and walked back to the bench grinning. That smile expressed everything. "You can try to stop me, but you can't make me stop." That was the smile of someone who knew she had won the game and cemented her status as one of the league's top players. Clark's self-assurance isn't conceit. It's the quiet confidence of a player who is prepared to rule the WNBA for many years to come and who is aware of her value. However, it would be impossible to discuss Clark's and the Fever's explosive success without acknowledging Coach Christy Sides' incredible development. Many wondered at the start of the season if Sides would be able to fully utilize the potential of a player like Clark. Apparently, such uncertainties are fading. Christy Sides looked different in this match versus the Sky. Her game plan was spot on, letting Clark take center stage while making the most of the other players' skill. However, what impressed me the most was Sides' ability to modify her style of play to accommodate Clark's special talents. Sides redesigned the Fever's offense around her rookie star's exceptional abilities rather than attempting to impose Clark into an established scheme. As a result, the defense of the Sky was totally overwhelmed by a flexible and unforeseen attack. Additionally, Side did a great job at managing their game time. She was very aware of when to exert pressure and when to let Clark relax. In summary, Christy Sides' development as a coach should be acknowledged, even though Clark gets all the credit for her outstanding performance. Not only is she letting Clark shine, but she's also assembling a formidable and unified team around him. In light of all we've witnessed today, I would like to talk to you. Is there still any question as to who should win Rookie of the Year? We just witnessed a performance fit for the history books from Caitlin Clark. With 31 points and 12 assists, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky were thoroughly outclassed. However, what are your thoughts? Add a comment below. With this performance, did Clark win the Rookie of the Year award? Or do you believe that arguments can still be made? If you were as thrilled with Clark's show as I was, don't forget to hit the like button on this video. And in case you haven't yet subscribed to the channel,